Hello, once again. Welcome.
Oh, hello.
Good evening, everyone.
We are back once more with Sigil Confidential.
True, correct.
Cinder won't be joining us this evening because he is actually out on his top secret government assignment of the most clandestine nature, and we're not allowed to talk about it. So don't ask, but it's all worthwhile, I assure you. Of course, Istu will be joining us shortly, so.
In due time.
Would you like to give us a recap?
Yeah, let's bring us in the meantime with last time on Sigil Confidential. The crew made their way across the desolate moonscape to the structures in the distance. They laid eyes on a breathtakingly beautiful abandoned citadel and stepped inside a building within by the name Harmony Hall. They discovered that this was a music venue of the gods. Instruments and sheet music were strewn about, and Jimmy noticed a seam in the stage's floor surrounding the piano atop it. He began playing some of the sheet music, surmising that the platform would raise or lower with the completion of a song, but repeatedly he heard the crack of a ghostly conductor's baton stopping him. After a number of attempts, an unexpected visitor warned Jimmy against angering the conductor, a Shanakesian woman by the name of Aisling. Her presence put everyone on edge. No living person was supposed to be on the Mother's Head moon. She spoke of powers who knew the crew was coming long before they ever did, reinforced by revealing the ghost's actual name, Bryn, and that there was a reason for her visit. She was sent there to suss everyone out and aid them if needed, and she revealed that because they were not invited guests of the god Bodhi's citadel, they would not be allowed to leave. The treasure beneath the stage was required for them to move forward, but it required the ultimate sacrifice. Aisling raised the platform beneath the piano to reveal a glowing red crystal, and the spears of several Shanakesian musicians encircled the stage. Draken once again offered himself, but he cannot move any further onto the stage to take the crystal before the spirits rang out a note that nearly spelled his demise had the angler not saved him. After he had a spat with Aisling and dragged Draken off the stage and outside the hall, Saren offered herself for the crew, people she truly considered friends. She walked onto the stage and took the crystal in her hands, which sucked the life force out of her and left Saren a lifeless husk on the ground. With the crystal now safe to handle, Jimmy lunged for it, managing to take it safely before Aisling could. As they made their way out of the hall, a glowing streak ricocheted off of Cairn and landed on the Mother's Head moon, and Bryn felt her connection to her Shanakesian contact, Saoirse, grow much closer. Her and her friends had landed. As they made their way to finally meet their contacts from Cairn, what trials await the crew following their retrieval of this key from Harmony Hall? Who is this mysterious being who knew of the crew's eventual arrival? Find out, starting right now on Sigil Confidential, the Silent Goddess.
Oh, yes. So much happened last time.
A lot happened.
So much happened. Oh, goodness. So, yes. You guys had made your way out of Bodhi's citadel.
Yes. And we had buried Saren and had a little ceremony for her. Little funeral.
Yeah. Poor Saren. Poor kid. She went through so much. So now here we are once again on the dusty skull of the Mother's Head in orbit around the ruined planet of Cairn. The twinkling stars visible, the planet decimated and alone down below, and the silence of the mother's head settling in around you, only cementing the loss that had just occurred of both Saren and Draken. What would you like to do from here?
Well, only thing we can do is go forward, huh?
I don't think this is a forward sort of place.
Well, forward to meet our contacts from Cairn. Or at least my contact. Might be able to give us an answer on this whole barmy prophecy nonsense.
Do we even know where they are? Up here somewhere, I assume, but...
Yeah, I saw them land somewhere over here.
Westward. I believe it was. If we're using the, cardinal points on the compass.
Yeah. Wherever. Let's start going towards them.
Those opposed?
I'm lost in my own little thoughts.
Jimmy as well is kind of thoughtful right now.
His 2 and Cinder 2.
Mostly trying to work through my new unified theory of magic.
Bryn is feeling mixed emotions.
It's gonna be rough going until the angler brings Draken back around.
What choice do we have?
Not too much. It does grate on me. We've had very little choice for quite a while.
And we have choices taken away from us.
Yeah. Jimmy fishes around in his pockets for a minute and finds a leftover honey cake. He begins to chew it thoughtfully. These are pretty good.
Still holding on to that.
Well, I finally get to enjoy them now. Haven't had much of an appetite the last couple of years. Yeah, let's get going, I guess. A lot of skull to cover.
Very true. Okay. So I think you head westward, or?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. Do we have any landmarks visible, or is it just gray and smooth?
Gray and smooth and rocky and barren. Rocky in a figurative term, more of a descriptive than actual rocks, because
yeah, calcium
It's
is stone,
bone.
Mike.
yeah.
Oh,
True.
bone cancer.
Hey, careful there. If you do your theology, that bone cancer was probably at least one of the gods.
So I will say you make it to about here. Trekking for hours, and once again it is desolate and silent, and your breathing passages are kind of caked with dust, and you got it in your eyes, and it makes you kind of tired and even more fatigued than normal for the walking that you're doing. But to your left, you do see what appears to be another citadel rising up out of the bone.
We're gonna have to be more careful with this one. We really can't handle this attrition rate.
You want me to flatten it?
Nah, there might be something in there. We can flatten it afterwards.
Do you approach?
Yeah, why not? What's it looking like?
So as you approach, it appears to be almost like craterish, slightly. Looking down, it's the edges of it are slightly labyrinthine, carved into the skull itself. And ironically, the way that you're going appears to be the gate leading in, like almost as if it were placed in front of you. And above it, written in very elegant script, in the metal itself, as if it were just handwritten, not carved or chiseled in or, imprinted. You see in a language that Jimmy understands.
Oh my.
Beckflorite. Which Jimmy knows, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the native tongue.
Mm-hmm. And it says, Toranak, the cog-laden halls of wisdom.
Ah, damn. I wasn't too good in school, you see. I always feel like he looked down on me a little bit.
Well, there's one important question that might need answering. If now we have the favor of one god, do we have the permission to enter the citadels of others?
That's an interesting question. Jimmy might take a roll at it, but he's not likely to produce excellent results.
All right.
It's like, this is an interesting question of, exactly how much mutual trust would there have been between the gods of Cairn? Could you expect their blessings to go one and all? At least in the olden days, I guess.
Between Goyne and Bodhi? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it ought to be all right.
They loved each other.
Yeah. Nah.
Nah. You're just not sure. I'm gonna be fair and just say you're not entirely sure. You don't remember anything standing out as far as direct animosity. But gods are gods, and you remember all those stories were always convoluted and weird.
Mm-hmm. I think about it. I feel the heft of Bodhi's relic in the pocket. I say, I don't know. They got on all right. They weren't very similar. I don't think they would have killed each other on sight, but, it's gods. What you gonna do? If it happens again, we're breaking out of this one, though.
Hand me the crystal for a second, Jimmy.
I pat a pocket. I pat a second pocket. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, here it is.
So, I'm going to try a thing because the Soul Keeper pendant that allows Bryn to read all these goddamn languages also allows her to cast the Legend Lore spell once per day without expending a spell slot. So I would like to try it on Bodhi's crystal here.
Okay. Let me check something with that particular spell real quick. I know I had a mouse down there. All right. Okay, this is just basically the significant lore of the item. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, to start with, as you kind of make that connection with the item, your mind is flooded in a way that's disorienting. Not with anything necessarily negative, but just the sheer raw power and amount of data flowing directly into your brain. You see, in just a fragment of moment, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of tales and songs and plays and poems and bits of literature, and it's as if every creative thing ever to come out of Cairn just brushed through your brain. And it ends with this very attractive young man kind of just smiling at you, and then fades.
So no information on whether this would allow us to enter the other citadels, I take it.
No, nothing like that comes to light. It's just the history of the item itself, mainly. It's a good
So
try.
Bryn, yeah. So Bryn will just exhale, shake her head, and hand it back to Jimmy. Say, I wasn't able to find out any relevant information to that end. Guess we can only hope that we're actually able to break out of this one. The last barrier appeared to be magical.
Well, I mean, I say break out. This thing's got a bit of power in it. I was going to use that.
I'm sure it's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
It'll be fine. Bodhi's got our back. He was all right, you know. I didn't really, I wasn't a particular worshiper of Bodhi, but, he told stories, songs, poetry, that sort of, it's... Down in my neck of the wood, he was also the god of liars. You gotta be a good liar to tell a good story.
It does take creativity.
I'm sure he'll cover for us.
So would you like to pass the gate?
Yeah, sure.
On in. On in to Tarnak. We go. Alright. So, you should have a visual on your screen there.
Yep.
Oh, fancy.
So as you kind of pass through the labyrinthian exterior, and it's nothing complicated. It's just like these desolate winding streets and roads, and you can see them lined with warehouses and factories and depositories, most of which have fallen into such utter disrepair that anything that would have been worthwhile inside them is long fallen to rust or decay. So you make your way eventually into kind of the heart of this small citadel, which is what you're seeing here. At one time, you can imagine it was quite a grand affair. Its architecture is this kind of the symphony of gears and cogs intricately interwoven with these strange metals that you don't even completely recognize. And even still to this day, as you can see there, some of them still glow this kind of warm golden hue that illuminates the area slightly. It's very practical in its design. You can see how the roads were very thought out and how the placement of buildings was very thought out. This must have at one point been like an incredible seat of innovation and potential industry even. You can see the clockwork towers that reach upwards to tremendous heights, bridges of luminescent alloys that connect things here and there. And even now, in the desolation that remains, you hear this gentle humming resonance of the celestial machinery that once must have echoed the heartbeat of innovation itself. Excuse me.
Gods. This place looks like if Sigil was designed by mechanists.
Yeah. It's a pity the boss ain't here. Stapleton, now there was a going man through and through. In the knowledge business.
That was his thing, for sure.
Pity it's rusted out.
Yeah. Machinery that doesn't have upkeep. So, you guys... Here, let me do this, just to make it a little easier, too. Where is it? Copy.
Paste.
And... Paste. Paste. There you go. So you guys, just to kind of show where you're coming in at. After the... Brent already brought herself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. But yeah, you see kind of where you're coming in at.
Yeah. Keep your guard up. If there's anybody who would have actually had clockwork defenders, it probably would have been going.
Let me make some stats real quick. Hang on. So you make your way into this main plaza. The air is acrid. It's filled with the scent of rust, old copper and steel, dust, bone, of course. And then, as you enter, you kind of catch this really faint whiff of just decay, like organic decay. And it's the sensation that kind of washes over the entire party that sets like the hair on the back of your neck on end. This kind of cold elbow against your spine, nudging you like, hey, you might be in danger. That type of feeling starts to kind of wash over you.
I stop moving forward. I open up my senses. I scan the surroundings for hazardous locations, places where assailants could be taking cover, big doors that may open suddenly to have, clockwork colossus behind it. These sorts of things.
That's everywhere.
Yeah.
In its current state, this place is the biggest OSHA violation in history. So I will say this.
Balcony up there? Is that a balcony up there?
There's a lot of those too.
All right, I'm gonna jump up there.
Where are you going? Can you
up to the balcony.
Can you?
I don't know, like up here, I think.
Okay.
Looks like a balcony. I'm just gonna Overwatch online.
All right. So you fly.
And I'm gonna jump up there with my boots of flying boots. What the fuck is this called? Winged boots.
Yeah.
Here, let's do this just so I kind of know where you're at.
I'm gonna go over there and I'm keeping watch by continuing to work on my unified theory of magic.
Alright. Just so I know that you're up there by yourself. Alone.
I'm sure it's a good idea.
Just barely out of sight.
Alone and out of sight. It's perfect.
You
still got the walkie-talkie. Give me a call if you need me, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you're actually scanning with your senses. You're on edge. Yes, of course you're there too, Master Misunderstood.
I was Master Miss in the Twitch chat.
Yeah. So, give me a... I'll let you choose, investigation or perception.
We'll go with investigation. Why not?
Okay. It's not a bad roll. The DC was 42. No, I'm just joking.
So close.
Um,
You better be careful saying stuff like that. I might find a way to make that.
so, even with your...
Can't hit a 42?
If I have some buffs going.
I thought rogues were the most broken class.
They are.
Yeah.
Let's not ask for
can't-
proof. Followed only by artificers. So
Preceded only by... I'm trying to remember. I always forget the name of the class.
Are you thinking mystics?
Mystics, there we go.
Yeah.
Those are never officially published, so they do not count.
Sure they
All
do.
3 of whom exist
We've
in
had one in
some
our
form
game.
on Saturday nights.
So, Jimmy, even with your eagle eyes and your insanely sensitive senses, you almost missed this. But here at the base of this huge clockwork tower, kind of on the other side of the plaza, amongst the rubble and debris that's kind of gathered around the base of it for chunks falling off and time passing, you see a pair of figures sitting so still amongst the rubble, just watching you, that you almost didn't see them because they're sitting so perfectly still.
Okay, I reach in my pocket for the walkie-talkie.
Hang on, I got a visual for you. Should I just show it to everyone?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh God!
It really could have gone better. Jimmy doesn't know that yet. He just knows what skulls look like.
Oh, you're just giving us the grand tour of secret powers here, aren't you?
So
Who dat?
I bring the walkie-talkie up to my mouth and I activate it.
I'm surprised that you brought up Ashling instead of the lacrimatory conclave for Bodies, but anyways.
Eagle One actual, this is the big mouth. Over.
Go ahead.
Eagle One, I've got 2 figures sighted at the base of this tower, due south from your position.
Affirmative.
One of them has a skull for a face. Eagle One actual, please train your rifle in. I'm gonna initiate contact. Friendly contact, but, you know, skulls. Over.
Alright, you give me the signal. I'll prepare the ex-wife.
Alright. So I give him a few seconds to be in position,
Okay.
and then I just shout over at him. I said, "Hey! It's no use pretending you're mortal."
With that, the eyes of both of them kind of flare this kind of dim, sickly green for a moment. And the woman, you actually see like this really slow-moving smile kind of creep along her lips. Of course, there's no real expression on the other individual.
Well, there's one.
Just the one expression.
Tends to stay there.
But beyond that, they don't say anything or move.
Well, I'm a close quarters combatant anyways. I'm willing to approach.
Moving up.
Yeah, I'll walk in.
All right. So you're moving up to them. You see just the eyes kind of follow your movements. They don't move. Like, they're sitting so still that it's unnerving.
I look at him. I used to be able to do that, but then my heart started beating again. It kind of spoils the whole stillness thing.
You gave up a gift.
I tried it on for a while. I didn't like it that much.
And why did you give it up?
It's more of an accident, but I can't say I'm unhappy to be back. I can taste things again.
Carnal pleasures of the flesh. They're all very fleeting, I assure you.
Turns out death was too.
Can be.
So, I'm starting to understand a little bit of what's been going on since I left home. But, you know, even if we're not quite mortals around here, I think it's polite to introduce ourselves. And I'm going to do something slightly unwise. I'm going to extend my hand for a handshake and introduce myself as Jimmy the Mouth Callons.
You see the male figure, his head, you can actually hear like the bones kind of creaking and popping as he slowly tilts his head and looks down at your hand. And then slowly, like, crack, pop, crack, crack, looks back up at you. And then in unison, the two slowly rise to their feet, their bones creaking and cracking as they do, dust kind of coming off of their shoulders and their robes and cloaks as they stand up before you. And very slowly, precisely, he extends his hand out and takes a hold of yours. And you immediately feel this icy coldness kind of rush through your hand, enough to like weaken you. Like you feel your body physically kind of weaken from the touch. But he grips.
I bluffed directly through that.
He doesn't grip hard, or you can tell like he's just shaking your hand. And he lets go, says, "I'm not used to such manners, especially not from a prodigal son."
I think all the people who'd have been waiting for me to come back I took with me.
Can I use scissors?
No. Here. Who was taken?
Well, I look around. He's recuperating right now. I'm afraid the trip to Bodhi's place really took it out of him. But, I don't know. Is Draken still famous around these parts? I'm given to understand it's been a couple centuries.
No. Afraid you don't have to worry about Draken anymore, my friend.
I never worried about him too bad to begin with.
It's not entirely true now, is it?
Friendly concern. You gotta watch out for your partner in crime. But he never needed too much of my help.
He's far beyond it now. But yet we hover around niceties. We hover around inconsequential moments that have happened already. My concern is not the now, nor what has been, but rather what comes tomorrow. And Jimmy, along with your companions, there's so much riding that horizon. Just out of your sight.
Jimmy nods. He nods. Yeah, I try not to think about that too much.
Why are you here, Jimmy Callons?
Alright, so it started with dropping a big rock on the joint. Didn't want it to happen. Wasn't happy about it. But enough about my life. And then what came after that, and then what came after that. Short answer, I've been tricked into playing some role in a prophecy that appears to have happened shortly after I left the place.
Jimmy, do you think so low of yourself to believe that you were tricked into playing a role in this prophecy? Tricked? Really?
Hey, in fairness to me, it did take like a couple of demigods to do the tricking. It was not an easy job.
Your role, all of your roles, and what is happening now predates your births. These are moments set into motion by things you can barely fathom.
Jimmy flaps his hand. God stuff. They play their games.
They do. And you're caught square in the center of them.
True, but the best I can do as a piece in the games is be disdainful of the whole process. It's all I got, really.
Sorry, rewind 1 second. I was coughing. Was that a we or a they?
Jimmy did not claim to be a god.
No, him. The skull face.
He may have claimed to be a god.
Cool. All right, that's cool. Sorry. Go back. Continue. I was just me, the player, the person was coughing, and I just kind of missed that line.
He wasn't claiming to be a god. Just to clarify.
Okay.
But yeah, so the role that you're playing, all of you together in this prophecy, is so much bigger than you realize. And you could potentially reap some tremendous rewards from it.
Surely, if you knew I was coming, you knew what I planned to do when I got here.
Well, choice, God or not, is something that will always be in your hands to make.
I could tell you, but then that would just give the whole game away. And it would give you an unfair leg up on your competition. We can't have that now, can we?
I have no competition.
I pull a face at him, like, very, very bold, aren't we?
I offer nothing short of salvation to those that I make my offer to.
I met a guy like that once.
Did you?
Yeah. Jimmy looks down at his hand.
I assure you the angler offers no such thing.
I may have been kidding.
No, I have no desire to harm. My desire is strictly to heal the world.
You've got my attention. Come on, give me the sales pitch.
Oh, what I offer is not for you, Jimmy.
Damn.
No. Flattered though you might consider it, and perhaps that could change, as this is not some elitist program I'm offering, but eventually will be something that will encompass all. So I hope.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not here to sell you on my ideals. I'm here to observe and offer assistance if it's needed.
Ah, man, I was so sure you were going to go with I'm here to kill you. Let me tell you, I've heard that one a few times.
Oh, if that were my goal, Jimmy, you would not have made it into the plaza.
Hey, give me some credit here. Others have tried.
You are resilient, I'll give you that.
I like to chalk it up to the immense powers of my friends and companions.
As much as I do absolutely adore these social constructs that you living place so much importance on, we do have a greater picture to focus on. Though you don't know it, you're here for something. You have Bodhi's gift. I can sense it on you.
It's heavy. There's a whole life in there.
But now you're here for Goins.
Maybe. Never did have as much use for knowledge as I did for lies, but I wouldn't turn it down.
Only a truly intelligent man can tell a lie that is believable and maintain it. But that is beside the point. You're gathering keys, Jimmy. You realize that, don't you?
I draw Bodhi's gift out of my pocket and hold it up. key might be a slight exaggeration.
There's more to come. If you make it that far. At this point, even the prophecies go a bit gray. There's a purpose and a direction. Oh, but you have no idea where you're going. Or what lies ahead. You don't know if you're running to something or from something.
Big smile, biggest I've got in me. Why, my friend, I'm standing perfectly still. And the world moves around me. You can get anything you want that way.
I can see why the angler liked you.
He's got a damned fine way of showing it, though, doesn't he?
Well, I know one person that's absolutely thrilled that you brought him back. But we won't get into that. That aside, he kind of motions to the large tower behind him. This is Goin's Inventor's Atrium. Inside is the Cog of Revelation. If you desire to continue your journey, then it is yours to take.
No catch? No sacrifice of a living soul? Surely not. The gods can't have fallen down on the job that hard.
Well, all decisions, all actions have their price. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you're a thief.
Unless, of course, you are. I'll be curious to see how you try to thief your way out of this one. Would you mind if we accompanied you into the tower just to watch?
I shrug. I throw my hands wide. It'll save me the trouble of leaving Overwatch on you. I pull out the walkie-talkie. Eagle One, actual. You can stand down and join us. We're gonna have some accompaniment.
You sure that's wise?
Eh.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll hop down off the tower.
Okay.
Kind of vault the railing and walk over. Accelerator over, just kind of on the shoulder. Not pointed forward, but just kind of like slung back casually on the shoulder.
Okay. And are you guys going in, or? You don't have to.
Come now. Let's not be silly.
So who are your new friends?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Allow me. Lieutenant Ratthew. A dead man.
Huh. Made a lot of them. Don't know if I've ever really met one.
Oh, I'm sure you have. But, as I said, these social constructs escape me from time to time. It has been a long time since I've had to make much use of them. I am Headmaster Erebus Kane. And this is my champion, Phaedra Cadence.
Now, Erebus is from back in the day.
Yeah.
but I don't know if Jimmy would have had any chance to hear of him.
There's a chance. He was a well-known academic in Beck society.
Yeah.
He was like the headmaster of their Princeton for like 100 years by the time Jimmy was around. So, yeah, you might have heard of him. He's like the Einstein of Beck society.
Yeah, but
Jimmy was
wasn't-
a street kid from a backwater town outside of our moon.
Well, okay.
Jimmy didn't run in those circles.
No. Completely over his head. He recognizes that this is a Becht name. He knows what those are.
Very much. There's a little sense of home there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I nudge the ghost. I say, yeah, aren't you glad I came back to life? I'd ended up like him.
Jimmy, you realize that I got to know you and began dating you whenever you were in your at least partially dead state. You think I wouldn't have loved you either way?
Wow.
When you
Jokes.
accepted me for who I was.
Joke's on you, she's into that shit.
Exactly.
There's dead and then there's dead, you know. But then there might yet be dead again. Be 3 kinds of dead. Terrible. Anyways, I waffle. In we go.
in. Alright. In you go. We shall bring you inside. Make sure everyone's the size they're supposed to be. Everyone's a little.
No, they're so small.
Oh, I was like, why do I have an extra one? Go is because Istu has a double. Okay. So yes, once again, you enter in to the tower, the inventor's atrium, and inside is this sprawling workshop. The walls are just covered with old, kind of deteriorated and ratty blueprints and schematics of devices that are just almost beyond imagining. Ratt, like you look at them and it makes your head spin. Like the engineering is just beyond scope. The air still kind of buzzes and sounds with these faint echoes of tools clanging and machinery settling here and there. You see a lot of gearworks and clockworks and machinery that you don't recognize, just kind of stuffed into corners and whatnot. There's old tools and devices and bits and bobs and parts and screws and whatnot just laying everywhere. At the far end of the room, you do see this huge colossal mechanism. And it's glowing bright at its heart. You can still see it. And even despite the wear and tear of everything around it, looking through the paneling and in between the cracks of the device itself, you can still see spokes and gears slowly turning inside the casing of this device.
I look at Ratt and I say, now I know what you're tempted to, but you gotta be careful.
I kind of want to go stare in that little window.
This was Going's workshop. For all we know, that thing powers the tides.
So don't blow it up.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I can learn from it. I don't know, like some of these blueprints are amazing.
Yeah.
I want,
God of invention.
Huh. Some of
Created my
these
people
things are
too,
just
technically, but we can't really fault them for that.
next level.
All right, old boy. What were you up to in here?
See if it'll let me do this. No. They're huge.
They're
You guys are
size
in trouble
proportional to hit points.
now. You guys are in trouble now. There. Just so we know they're in the room. Alright, so you digging around, Rat?
Yeah, I am more curious than I've ever been. Maybe this will help me get that breakthrough on my my unified theory of magic. I'm just looking for that missing piece.
Okay.
That legitimately could be in here. That was part of his shit.
Okay. And Jimmy, what are you doing?
Oh, I walked straight up to the large machine and I'm looking at it.
What part in particular? Are you looking into the middle?
I do take a moment to look in the middle. I am generally fairly aware of things people say, and Erebus did say Bodhi's cog. So if there's a very important looking cog right in the middle, that would stand out to me.
There's something in there. It's hard to say. Like, you look into it, and like around the edges you do see like gears and pistons and machinery moving very slowly, very precisely. But as your eyes kind of drift towards the center, it's like it feels like staring at the sun. Like it's bright and it hurts.
I edge towards it a couple of times with my eyes and I say, nah, nothing doing. I would like to make an investigation check for something that is hopefully within my capacity.
Okay.
I'm not going to pretend I have any way of knowing what this machine does from examining its, like, activities in its center.
Okay.
But most machines hook up to something that they intend to actuate. I will seek high ground if necessary. I want to look off towards the back to see what could this possibly be doing. What is it constructed like? Is it a turbine? Is it an engine? Is it drawing power? Is it providing power?
Okay. All right. It's a pretty good roll. But oh god, it is a pretty good roll. So I'll give you this. So the mechanism you suspect was crafted by Goin himself. You're not sure about what it's supposed to do exactly. But it does stand out to you that everything within this one machine appears to still be functioning, whereas everything else has run down and stopped.
Jimmy dwells on this. Alright. It's still running. Everything else isn't. So that means either it's drawing power from something that's still going, being that it was work of divinity that's pretty limited number of sources that could still be hanging around. Or it's providing power to something that's still receiving it. And in terms of stuff around Cairn that's still working, I can only really think of one. I'm suddenly tempted to just yoink out the middle of this thing, but it'd probably burn my arm off.
Jimmy, considering what's in your pocket, I would assume the former of your assumptions there. I think Goin's key might be the thing that's powering this machine.
Yeah, but you gotta think about it. What's on the other end? I can think of exactly one work of the gods that's still operating in Cairn these days. Well, I say in. It's more of an around.
What might that be, and how do you know it?
Well, the bubble.
But,
Hey, Ratt.
Yeah, what up?
You think you'd know what a bubble generator looks like if you saw it?
What bubble? What's a bubble?
The divine bubble? I
I
think
don't
they
know,
call them
maybe.
crystal spheres in the parlance.
Oh,
gods don't really... The crystal spheres remain without the power of the gods, though this might be the only thing that maintains that nothing can enter or exit Cairn.
You come have a look at this one, Ratt.
yeah, all right.
Just don't look dead in the middle.
What if I want to look dead in the middle?
You got goggles?
I've got goggles. I've got my all-purpose tool. I'll just shift it into a welding mask.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, take my spot.
I'll just go around and fly right up to the looking glass, the center bits.
Okay.
Goggles on.
Staring into the middle of it.
Yeah. Stare into infinity.
Give me a
Goggles on, you know, through a welding mask.
give me a con save.
Okay.
Okay. You feel it burning your eyes even through the mask. You feel it damaging your eyes, like it's that bad.
Shoot, that's bright.
You manage to kind of look away before anything permanent happens, like going blind. But before that happened, you did kind of make out in the very heart of this is a cog about the size of your head, ticking.
Beautiful. Wonder what it does.
Current guess keeps the outside out and the inside in.
From the back of the room, you hear, "You're thinking far too small, my friend."
I don't know, that bubble's about as big as Cairn. Well, a little larger.
No.
Ah, hell, it doesn't keep the world spinning, does it?
You're from here.
Yeah,
Thinking-
sad but true.
You're not thinking in terms of a local.
That begs an interesting question, and Jimmy thinks about this for a minute. Again, he wasn't really a going guy, but I mean, he was around the town, certainly. could Goin have been associated with that would have involved this?
The cog of revelation.
Oh no. That sounds unfortunate. What does Jimmy know about it?
You want to try a history roll or something?
Yeah, why not?
Go for it.
Don't think I have any particular advantage on history, but you know, numbers have happened in the past.
I gotta find skills that you don't have advantages of to make this challenging.
It's true. You know, just because I want to have him know it, I'm going to spend the point on that.
Okay, go for it.
Marginal improvements. We're talking 2 better.
Hey, how about you get a bardic inspiration from Bryn? Roll a d12 on top of that.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's better.
That is better. That is better.
That's better. At 15, I may have heard of the thing.
So,
You're,
what you got? You got
nothing. I could just.
Flash of genius.
No, that's saves. No. What does vicious mockery do now?
Well, that's an attack.
Nothing helpful here.
Nothing helpful here. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Just an attack.
That's like hurling your mama jokes at him while he's trying to concentrate.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But it doesn't force a reroll.
No.
I thought it did that.
No.
There's something else that does that. Which one is that?
There's a couple abilities that force rerolls on enemies, and like just 1 or 2 that you can force them on friendlies.
So
Anyway.
Don't know if there's any you have. Go on though.
no, it's fine. So you do kind of you remember hearing this and that. Vectorite culture was one of intellectuals and intellectual things and innovation and industry and innovation and expansionism.
Yeah.
You remember a faint kind of stories about this little item that you would see in certain workshops and whatnot. It was always hang above the door, and it was a cog. And they would refer to it as the cog of revelation. And supposedly, Goin had some type of divine contraption that was the perpetual source of inspiration and knowledge amongst his people. Every time the spokes and gears made a full cycle, it would unveil the secrets of the universe to Goin.
Jimmy's lost in thought. Then he remembers, and he squints a little bit. He looks back at Arabiscane. You're kidding me. I thought it was a figure of speech. You know, they say, oh, my gears are turning.
There's the local boy.
Damn it. Well. That's interesting. That's going to be a hell of a problem to get out of there.
Would this in fact actually be Goin's key?
That's whatever you want it to be, honestly. You got a problem? That'll solve it.
Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it.
Oh, he hit it.
Damn.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
I knew I could count on you. I know, I never even heard it in Sigil. Did anybody ever have the saying when somebody's thinking really hard? Ah, the gears are turning, he's getting there.
Well, yes. You
That-
forget that Mechanist exists, Jimmy.
That's true. I point over my shoulder with my thumb at that. That's the gear that turns. That's the one they're talking about.
That's where knowledge comes from?
Yeah, they used to mount little emblems of it over the workshops.
Maybe that's the missing piece to my equations.
I think if you were willing to wait for it to turn over enough times, you could come up with any equation you want out of that thing. I really did not think it was an actual thing. Then again, I guess the people who said that were not the most given to metaphor and artistic speech, so maybe I should have taken them more seriously.
So are you
Now,
going
what
to
in
take
the-
it, Jimmy? Are you
Oh, I'm
going
not
to-
touching that thing.
Are you going to dismantle the gears of knowledge and revelation? Are you going to take the heart of innovation from your people, from the machine, and squirrel it away in your pocket?
If he doesn't, I will. Fuck y'all. I want the secrets of the universe. I don't give a shit about the people on this planet.
You know, I originally mourned your people's loss when they all were wiped out on our planet.
You guys had gnomes?
Had, yes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. That's too bad. Killed 1 million of them myself, so, what's the difference?
Are you going to take it?
Did I ever tell you about the time I genocided the Goliaths?
What, they poke fun at you?
No, it was, just something to do for fun. Adopted one. I think you met him.
I did. He was a nice kid.
Yeah. I don't do kids.
Anyways, Rat, I'm pretty sure if you try to touch that thing, it's gonna burn your hand off.
But really, is this Goin's key?
You think they're gonna give us a straight answer? Just look at them.
But you think there's some other radiant, glowing, brilliant object in this room?
I mean, she's still looking at Phaedra and Erebus to see if they answer, so...
No, they're in unison, like their heads just kind of clack, 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 and turn and like stare at you every time you speak, like just blank and cold.
So, no response, no reaction, no answer to Bryn's question?
No, even when he's speaking and he laughs, it's like this cold, dead, humorless sound. It's not human anymore.
I mean, Bryn's just looking for a sodding answer over here.
Oh yeah, no, he's not giving anything up without it being asked directly of him. He doesn't like social situations. He's neurodivergent in the sense that his brain matter is rotted.
Yeah, whatever's in there now, it's not. It's no longer neuro.
Yeah.
It has diverged entirely from neuro.
He's necrodivergent.
There you go.
Ooh, I need to trademark that one.
So, Erebus, is this Goin's key?
Yes.
There you go, Jimmy.
And we need it?
Yes.
Need is such a philosophical concept.
I mean, I want it.
That
Because
I have no
want to
doubt of.
understand. I need to be able to put the next piece of the puzzle together so that I can finish my unified theory of magic and all things.
Erebus, what is the sacrifice required to get Goin's key?
I mean, if it's just arm, I don't really care. I'll make a new one
She's a
once I have the knowledge.
She's a smart one. Jimmy,
Yes.
would you willingly steal innovation, inventiveness, intellect from your entire race of people?
Huh. That's a hell of a question. On the one hand, it'd be very sad for him.
Detrimental, even.
Yeah. On the other hand, well, we see where it got him.
That was 200 years ago. You've not seen what they've become.
I'm not entirely convinced that it got better.
But would you risk destroying an entire culture?
No, probably not, quite frankly.
I didn't
Erebus,
think so.
what do we lose by not taking Gawain's key?
Oh, you won't leave this city.
I sodding knew it.
Jimmy gets back up. He's been leaning on the railing up here, just kind of basking in the glow of knowledge. All right. Did kind of see that coming. But, you know, gives me a chance. Now, Ratt.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want that. I'm gesturing vaguely in the direction of the cog.
Yeah, and we need it.
We might need it. If we need it, it's all yours. But I'm getting real tired of dealing with the nonsense that the gods have left behind. It's a little rude to leave people perpetually trapped in a domain unless they steal your artifacts. Let's say we try and crack this one.
You want me to blow it up?
I think I want to try.
Are you saying you believe that Gawain placed this trap here for you?
No, I thought it'd be rude to say that you placed this trap here for me. Come on, man, I'm trying to be polite.
Oh, I have nothing to do with that. As I
Jimmy
said,
rolls his eyes.
I'm here
Yeah.
only to observe and assist if needed.
Just because it'd be really funny. I'm going to insight check the skull,
Okay.
a task I have advantage on.
Okay. He seems to be telling the truth as far as you can tell. He's a little hard to read, but like you don't sense any direct malice. Like you get the sense he's being above board with you.
Fine, that was rude of me. I extend to you my deepest apologies. But I declare my deepest desire to cause great offense to whoever has inconvenienced me in this fashion for the second time.
Oh. Well, you might get your chance to voice those concerns very soon. But that's neither here nor there. You have to deal with what's been placed in front of you first.
Indeed I shall. One of the things placed in front of me is a supposedly impassable barrier. I have a number of spellcasters and a man who knows his way around a bomb. Let's find out.
Don't let me stop you.
I have proposed this, and I would like to take a moment out of character for speed
Okay.
to, deliberate amongst those present. Draken, please do chime in as well with your feelings. I would like to take a brief break from the, intended progression, be it by church or by design of whoever keeps getting us trapped in these damn places, and see if we can't crack this. We have a lot of resources at our disposal.
Go ahead. I don't mind.
You're fine with it. You're fine with us fucking around. I want to hear from the party.
What?
You want to try and crack the wall?
Crack the wall?
The wall. Not this container, the wall.
What wall? The fourth wall?
Yeah, it may as well be the fourth wall. It's the bubble that's going to keep us trapped here unless we take the cog and claim Goin's power for our own.
I can't think of anything that might crack that wall that Bryn has.
I've got Bodhi's heart in my pocket, and I've got a man with an Eldricite cannon.
Oh, I've got a crazy idea. So, if that's the cog of innovation, or whatever the fuck its name is.
Revelation.
Revelation. If that's a cog of revelation, then who's to say the key to get out of Bodhi's citadel isn't to come up with a revelatory idea of our own?
You mean going?
Yeah. Listen, I play as Shawnekeesian and I write too much for Shawnekeesians. I got Bodhi on the brain most of the time whenever I think about Cairn's gods.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, returning to character.
Okay.
Come on, Ratt. Let's defy the gods. Let's crack their silly little bubbles.
You know, Jimmy, if the cog of revelation is the key to get out of Goin's citadel, then what's to say that we couldn't create our own key by coming up with a revelatory idea of our own? And that would also get us out of here.
I'm sure he'd be very proud of us. Don't know how many great ideas there are knocking around in my head, but I have great faith in the two of you.
How much time do we have?
All the time in the world, until I begin to starve to death in roughly 8 hours.
Well, whatever. We'll stare at it again. Maybe I can get the insight for my grand theory of...
Are you gonna go stare at it again?
Yeah, let's stare at it again.
Give me another con save.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Managed to pull your eyes away in time before going blind.
Maybe it's worth it.
What grand theory of the universe do you hope to come up with, Ratt?
The secrets of how, in magic and keeping it all contained. I want to understand, I can't do a little, my gun doesn't work. I need to understand why here. And I need to understand, why it doesn't work here so that I can put that together with everything that I know about why it works everywhere else. Because the math is different. So there's got to be a piece, one little equation somewhere that fits in between those two that still keeps it, because it still exists, it's just different, inverted in some way.
Well, all you had to do was attune to the local systems of magic, Rat. It's not that difficult. I was planning on sitting down with my sitar and seeing what resonance resonated with what kind of magic.
No, you don't get it, though. It's like anti-magic. But it works mostly the same. It's like negative. It's more than just a different frequency here.
Bryn will just chuckle and start to pull out her new sitar and start to try and tune to it.
Okay.
And probably see if she can attune to some of Karen's magic, too.
All right. So you'll begin that process, we'll say. What are the rest of you doing? What?
Jimmy's gonna go check the desks, see what Goin was working on in the run-up to the final days.
Okay. You start digging around?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So Bryn's playing the sitar, trying to find harmony with the local magical systems. Ratt is drooling over the cog of revelation. Jimmy's digging around. Give me a D100 roll, Jimmy.
You got it. That's pretty good, man.
Damn.
Wow.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
100. So,
I don't know what to tell you.
you do find a schematic. You stumble across it pretty quickly. And it looks like the device that houses the cog. And there's this process that it kind of details out in imagery more than anything. There's some notes scribbled here and there in that same perfect script. But from what you can gather, the cog is alive. And it is alive because Goin placed a living individual into there.
I don't suppose he wrote down who.
No, it's just a fine mind of innovative nature and intellectual capacity.
Knew I never liked that guy. I gather up the schematics and I bring them up to Ratt and the ghost up here. Hey, Ratt.
Yeah, what's up?
Found the blueprints.
Blueprints for what?
Well, Jimmy points at this thing.
That? What? Let me see.
I'm spreading them out up here.
There, let's go find a table.
Alright, so, have a look at this. It is alive. Going, that son of a bitch, he locked somebody up in there.
Sort of like Saren locked herself in Bodhi's key.
Mm-hmm.
So, prison break?
Well, I mean, it seems like the polite thing to do. Then again, it might just kill him. The gods don't often let you take back their gifts, even if they're really shitty gifts.
Plus, there's still that question of, would you rob the entire Bechtelite nation of innovation? Or actually, I should say, the entire world of innovation.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you would. But you're a genocidal maniac.
I usually get paid really well for it.
Nope. Hey, another world.
Moral quandary, really. If the innovation of the people of Cairn is founded upon the enslavement of a single soul in a perpetual engine of knowledge, do they deserve it?
The schematics never mention anything about enslavement, or even that it was against anyone's will.
Well, I mean, it's a blueprint. What would that have? What would they? Well, why would it say anything about its power source? It's feelings. Like what? No, unless it's powered by emotions, which is some weird dumb god shit, and that scientifically just doesn't make sense. Emotions isn't fuel.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, adrenaline is a chemical that makes you feel an emotion, but also gives you a reaction.
I got by without adrenaline for quite a while. In fact, most of those chemicals just didn't happen. Still had the occasional emotion.
You know, there's a question that's bothering me.
Hello.
Master Miss! It's
Hello.
me.
Istu has joined
Hey!
Welcome.
Hello.
So we're
Please,
working on
and
this puzzle, huh?
Welcome. Thank you. Please help me figure out the grand unified theory of magic.
Yeah,
I know you were in the Twitch chat for a while. How much did you catch?
10% of it, let's just say that.
Alright, so we are in Goin's Atrium of Invention. We have been escorted in by Erebus Kane and Phaedra. We have been informed that this shiny bit here is the Cog of Revelation, which was one of Goin's many artifacts, supposedly the source of all innovation and inspiration in the world.
And if it's the
Also,
key,
it
we
blinds
need
you.
to leave the Citadel, but if we take it, then we take away all of innovation from humans of Cairn.
Possibly everyone of Cairn. And
Which is
possibly
probably not
that's a
a bad
lie.
Probably not a bad thing because, like, you know, meta-wise, like, they're not doing good things with knowledge on that planet.
Yeah, but anyways, back to what I
Anyway,
was about to say in character. There is a question that is starting to bother me, though, Jimmy.
Mhm.
And company. So, if there's a living being within Goin's key, and that powers knowledge and innovation of your people on Cairn, then Bodhi's key, which is the heart, had no living soul in it. What then was the effect of that key having no living person in it and not working? What effect did that have on Cairn?
I suppose in theory, without the heart of Bodhi, they wouldn't have been able to make music or tell stories, but for some reason I somehow doubt that. I think maybe we're being fucked with.
I guess a better question might be to ask what happened to the Shanakesian culture.
So this unified theory we're working on, what does that have to do with this?
Oh, Ratt thinks that the Cog of Revelation would tell him how to finish out his unified theory.
Of magic.
He's probably right, actually.
Is it the same thing we've been talking about in the Brain Trust, or?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's got to be the missing piece. in the equation sets, because everything feels like negative magic here. Like, just it's the same. It's just like flipped, like inverted. Like there's a little negative symbol in front of the equations for some reason. And this has got to be the missing piece that puts it all together, that makes it make sense. Because otherwise, it shouldn't exist.
Right. I still want to try and crack the bubble before. Even if we do take it, I want to try and crack the bubble in advance just to cause insult to whoever keeps doing this to us.
Well, if I have the sum total of all knowledge and innovation, I'll be able to maybe make a better weapon that we can use to break space.
If we get the cog out, we won't need it anymore. The moment will have passed. Will have played right into their hands.
Yes, the perfect 100 from Jimmy.
I did roll a 100 on a D100, yes.
And that's why we even
did
have the
happen.
schematic of this thing.
Wild. Imagine that.
Draken's out of action. Somebody's got to roll the hundreds.
Yep.
It's good to be back. Alright, so... I guess these ones of me will be over here. Just kind of... Wait, who is this?
These
Erebus
Erebus
Cater.
Cain and Phaedra Cadence.
Oh,
He lived.
Kinda.
let's
There you go.
our host for the evening. Oh, let's have one of the Istus stand over there and chat with them. And
It's
then
going to be very amusing, because they're going to be very uncomfortable about it.
Mhm. Yeah, we're just kind of like talking and asking questions, and what are you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing opportunity to talk to an individual such as individuals such as themselves. You know, don't want to miss out on that while we're trying to figure out this unified theory. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't killed anyone.
And we truly do appreciate that.
And we would know Erebus, right? Like,
No, you guys probably wouldn't. Jimmy might
Is this-
have, but he has failed his history.
this is our first time meeting them, then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that would be a good thing for one of the Istus to dig into and try to figure out, like, hey, what's your deal? You know, like, yeah. And we're trying to also at the same time figure out this unified theory thing.
You would know from preceding conversation that he has a vested interest in death and claims that he has a program for Cairn that will bring it back to the height of its powers.
And beyond.
I'm thinking of the visual of this guy. Are there visual indications that he's like a necromancer or whatever?
He's
Or lich,
undead.
He's a skeleton.
visibly undead. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, can you put the picture of him back up?
sure.
I had it like
You
too
had
many
the small
pop-ups
version.
moment, like, and then I minimized it by accident. Okay.
That dude's as dead as anybody.
Mhm. So we're aware of this. All right, cool.
Yeah, he's not
Um,
hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why would you? I have absolutely no constructive input into the unified theory of why magic is the way it is. But I just think that we've shifted into, like we've discussed this before, right? The change in the world here versus where we left, right? Right.
What? No, nobody told me like what really like Draken said he killed a dragon and then you guys left and now we're here and nothing works right. So And the other thing, like, Jimmy said he's been gone for like 2.5 years. Like, he said that Draken killed like the dragon thing like 2.5 years ago. But this guy, like the skeleton dude over here, is talking about like 200 years has gone by. Like,
Well, time is relative.
yeah, well, not like that though.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this.
Eh,
Just continuing the mind thing that I did earlier.
yeah, but even if time was relative, like Jimmy and Draken would have aged appropriately to their plane of existence, like origin, not their plane of currency. Sorry, Jimmy. Like, I know you were a skeleton, but you would have been like undead or something. But
Oh,
like,
I'd have been dust.
you would have
then,
been
bro.
way more dust if you were from a place that had time ran at this rate, and then you went to a place where time ran slow. Like, that's not going to save you from your advanced, like, your biological processes that are those are baked into you.
You
These
gotta.
processes are relative to the being in question, though. They're not relative.
You're right.
Depends.
You gotta keep in mind, Rat, that this is not a normal place. I didn't just leave the way people could have left back in the old days. We got out, and then as we left, they closed the door, locked it, and then bricked it up.
So where's the door?
Still locked and bricked up, I assume. I think the way we got in doesn't exactly count as the front entrance. It did
Okay.
nearly kill us a couple of ways.
Okay.
Anyways, I want to take a crack at the bubble out there. You with me?
I need the next level of innovation to figure out the weaponry that would crack that. I don't think I have it yet.
I have every faith in you, Rat. Make an attempt at it before we go for the cog.
I'll help you.
Yeah, see, it still help you.
You want me to just shoot the sky?
Well, let's go look at it first. See if you can get a grip on it. Give it an analysis. I gave it a shot, but you know I don't really do magic. I knocked on it and determined I wasn't going to be punching through it anytime soon. But that was then, and this is now. Let's go have a look.
Excuse me while I shoot the sky.
I'm not responsible for any damage to Cairn from a linear accelerator slamming into it from space.
I start walking for the outside, and I say, it's highly unlikely that they'd even notice. It's really fucked up down there, man. So, Church,
Yes.
can we make rolls? Are we allowed to go find the barrier and make rolls against it?
Are you going to go try to shoot Cairn?
No.
That's a Rat question.
Like, I need to know exactly what you're doing here. What are you shooting, if anything?
Yeah, what barrier is this? Like, where is this barrier that you want
I
shot?
One
will look-
surrounding Goin's citadel.
If we attempt to leave this place, which is not that long of a walk, we should be stopped by an impassable barrier. I would like to go and have my many talented friends have a look at this, because my Arcana checks aren't going to do shit.
Alright, so you want to try and break through.
Well, we can start by looking, and then go
Oh,
from
okay.
there.
So like,
Yes,
the
you can
invisible
proceed from
fence
looking to exploding if you want.
around the city.
Yes.
Okay. So you just want to step out and shoot up and see what you hit?
Church, we just had to explain to him. Don't confuse him further.
I mean, to the barrier that supposedly locks you into the city.
No, I don't think we're shooting anything right now. I think we're looking at the invisible barrier.
Okay, so you just want to walk up to it.
We just want to go look at it.
I guess we're gonna go walk up to it and like poke it with a stick.
Alright, well here, just for visual purposes, I'll move us back over to here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just for, you don't have to necessarily move around unless you're going to start fighting each other or something.
Not anytime soon, I hope.
So you step back out into Goin's city. Excuse me. Toranok. And you make your way back through the labyrinth and outskirts of this little citadel, and you do find a barrier of some sort. Much like the one in Bodhi's city.
Like a force field, or just kind of... Wow.
It's like it's there, but it's not.
Hmm.
Like it's enough to stop you, but you don't see anything.
Kick a rock at it.
It bounces off.
All right, we're getting places. Physical
maintain?
rather than compulsory.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Bodhi's heart. Does it resonate with this barrier at all? Does it feel as if I could deploy it here?
Take it out and try.
I take it out and try.
Your hand stops.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Nah, nothing doing on that one. I guess they didn't like each other that much. Ooh, fun question. Fun question for the specialists. Jimmy's finding a place to sit down and contemplate the uncontemplatable. Is it divine?
I would assume so.
Ah, assumptions get you killed in our line of business. If the gods left it, it would be divine. If somebody else is fucking with us, it couldn't be, could it?
I can check. So, have I attuned to the sitar enough to be able to get the advantage on the Arcana checks?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Alright, because I would like to do that.
Do some bard stuff.
Yeah, do some bard stuff. I would like to see what sort of energy this barrier is made up of, divine or otherwise magic.
It is powerful, surging, divine energy.
Oh, I don't even need to roll for that shit, huh?
No, I'm gonna give it to you. It is insanely powerful, divine energy.
Well, I didn't even need to think that hard about it, Jimmy. It's, just getting close to it, just cursory examination. That is 100% divine magic. Very powerful magic at that.
How would you put it on the scale? Because we've been up against some pretty tough customers in the past.
Scale of what to what?
Scale of, like, imp to the god we killed.
Near God.
Near God. He was working on it.
the Aboleth.
God interrupted. That would have been a good title for that arc, actually.
That would have been a good movie.
Yeah.
God interrupted.
I'm assuming because this is out of character, I'm assuming because this is from Goin that it's going to be more powerful than the Aboleth on the scale.
It may not be from going. That's what Jimmy's trying to poke around at.
I can't comment on your assumption, but I can tell you it is way more powerful than the Aboleth.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy, it breaks your scale. That is more powerful than the Aboleth.
Huh, you know, that's interesting. Because, you know, we've seen already one relic of sort of left behind magic. Delivered us a prophecy from Bodhi. And that I wouldn't really have rated as all that powerful. I mean, sure, she was still alive, but... I mean, just a few little blighted creatures had nearly taken that off in a couple hundred years. And the gods are gone.
Well, the
Except
thing
you know,
is-
there is one that's still here. Technically.
Technically.
Jimmy points down.
I still don't know who you're talking about.
Well, we're standing on her head. Admittedly, she didn't have much to do with Karen back in the day. She was good and dead as far as that was concerned, but you start walking around on the skull of a dead god, maybe they begin to have opinions about it.
You kids keep it down up there.
Bryn's just going to kind of like make a face, but like just sort of shrug and say nothing because she probably knows a bit about the dead gods that are floating out in the astral sea there.
Oh, here, give me 1 second. You guys keep discussing. I'll be right back.
They're just... How do I put this, Jimmy? There are people who make fortresses and citadels and outposts on the bodies of dead gods in the astral sea all the time. The gods out there still have a bit of their divinity within them, and supposedly if enough people started to worship them again, that they would come back to life. However, they're basically as good as dead.
It's a little different here. The mother is only technically dead.
I don't think we're disagreeing there, Jimmy, but I wouldn't exactly call that present.
Jimmy struggles for a moment to articulate his thoughts. He was not a profoundly religious man. You would probably call him more superstitious, as the not too unusual for the followers of Volry. So he's trying to articulate a thought that is very challenging for him. It takes him a minute. So the goddess, right? Not any of the other goddesses, not the later goddesses, but her, Vrkana, the mother. In the first days, she was the first thing, and she hated it. She tore herself to pieces. And those pieces are just, they're all of this and the gods, too. They're not really her kids, they're her. They're pieces of her that she tore off. And, you know, her skull still floats up here. Her flesh are the rolling fields, her bones the mountains. But that's not really dead, is it? Because the gods were the greatest piece of her. And they, supposedly, got out alive.
The thing is that would you call identical twins the same individual or separate? I would argue that once the gods formed off of Vrkana's matter, that they became their own beings entirely, and I wouldn't exactly call the matter that constitutes Cairn as being, as Rokana herself, still living.
The gods are kind of funny like that. A lot of those gods that are supposed to be identical twins really are the same god. Two aspects of the same divine entity. You know?
I would still call that polytheistic over monotheistic.
I don't have words for how loud that was.
Sorry.
All right.
But anyways, in character, I guess I'll say. But we can stand here and debate theology all night. Probably need to turn our focus back to the dome here.
I don't know why it's advantaging the roll there. Or
That's okay.
disadvantaging, it should be normal. 17.
17's still the best roll either way, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Give me a religion roll on top of that, if you would, please.
Okay.
This is complicated.
Make sure to fix this. Yes. Okay. I don't have any exhaustion. Alright. Religion. 15.
Hey, not bad.
Not bad. Do I have to send you a love note here?
Alright.
Ooh, secrets.
Secret, secret, I got a secret. We're doing Sigil Confidential, the musical tonight.
No kidding.
It's our musical episode. You guys can keep going while we're going back and forth with this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what were you saying about the dome earlier, Jimmy?
Oh, I was thinking if it's the mother doing this, then that really puts a spin on things. One, it would indicate she's alive enough to do something, which has been a subject of some debate for some time.
She's gonna turn around and bite your toes off.
It would end very poorly for us, actually.
The only thing about that, considering we need the keys of the respective gods to be able to exit their own citadels, seems to me like it would be the doings of the departed gods. I feel if it was coming from Volcana, then any key of hers would have a different resonance about them.
It's a pity we didn't check the last one, but we hadn't even thought of it yet. We could have compared Bodhi's heart versus the barrier. I suppose we can still check this one versus the cog now that everybody's looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
What you think, Rat? You had a good look at the cog.
Twice.
Yeah. Some would say that was ill-advised.
What energy signature was it giving off, Ratt? In fact, you'd be able to tell us if it was the same. Why don't you come look at the barrier?
He's muted. He may not be here.
Lieutenant Rattling.
Ghinkgo.
Lieutenant Ratling. Lieutenant Ratling. Lieutenant Dan.
Do you know you're muted, son?
Nah, he might have stepped away.
He might be pee-peeing. So you're wanting him to compare what the magic of the field to the magic of the cog.
The cog. Yeah.
See if it's the same sort of energy.
That would be difficult because he hasn't actually interacted directly with the cog.
Yeah. I fig. I know Master Miss has just gotten here, but do we want to take our midway break, give him a chance to get back?
As always, that is up to you guys. I don't mind. I will go make tea if we do.
I could use some tea.
Tea?
And
tea.
to answer the call of nature.
Tea? Tea? Tea?
Mm.
Tea? 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 Tea?
We'll
Tea?
give Ghinkgo a chance to return.
Alright. In that case, we'll be right back after this word from the void. Stay tuned. And we're back like a flash. Blam. I now have my lavender and honey tea.
Nice.
Very nice.
Lovely. Let that steep for a minute. But we are back. We have been sitting here at the wall talking for a while. I think it is fair to give Istu and Erebus a chance to chat real quick, since you brought up you did want to have a discussion, and we can do that real quick. Unless there's any objections, while you guys try to work out what's going on with this, the barrier and everything, and what to do.
No, I want to hear Erebus's sales pitch.
All right. So, Istu, I'll let you begin, since you sidled over there to have a conversation.
So I'm trying to figure out what your deal is. Does it hurt not having any skin on your face?
So, in unison, both their heads turn uncomfortably slow. You can hear the sinews and tendons and bones creaking and popping as they do, and it seems to take way longer than you're comfortable with, until their slight, glowing eyes fall resting heavily on you. They're impossible to read, just blank and emotionless.
Mm-hmm.
And then Erebus speaks. And I should point out that when he does speak, it's this almost like a reverse echo. His mouth just opens and the sound comes out rather than his jaw moving. And it's like it comes from somewhere far away and just kind of echoes in reverse out word by word into this cold, hollow tone.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "My deal is that I strive to bring a world without pain, without suffering, without death, where people, all people, can reach their full potential, unhindered by the ramifications of a mortal world, unhindered by ego and wealth and pursuits of gain and power, lustful, carnal, fleshy things, driven only by the pursuit of what makes us, each and every one, perfect." And no, I do not feel pain.
What does that entail? Like becoming like your full potential? You have to die first before you can do that, or?
Death is such a finite thing. It's a waste of potential. It is the end of a story. It is the stunting of all progress and the tossing away of everything you have achieved before it's ever done, because no individual ever completes their life's work. At least not without the gifts that I offer.
And what's the cost for those gifts, though?
Cost? Well, I assume loyalty will come with the gift. I make no demands. I offer my gift to those who are willing and worthy.
Willing to do what exactly?
Willing to go through the metamorphosis, willing to change, willing to give up all the unnecessary mortal trappings of their world, all the ridiculousness that comes with it, this need to eat, need to sleep, need to breathe, need to move. Someday I hope to encompass as much of the world as will have me in this blackened kiss of my embrace, and offer them a peaceful, quiet place to pursue their goals, their hopes, and their dreams, unendingly, without pain, without further sacrifice, without sickness, without death, torment, or hurt, without hunger or need, just a pure existence of progress, founded upon the potential that they each offer.
I do really get sick of eating. I really get sick of it.
You might enjoy this.
Let's figure out what's going on with this dome first, and then we'll circle back. That'll give me time to figure out what the other one of me is gonna do here.
I have all the time in the world.
That must be nice.
It is.
That's the nature of this discussion while you guys are figuring out the stuff with the candle. Like, just like, oh, I don't know. But it does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, being dead, huh?
It's not even about the deadness, though. It's just about, like, having the time to do what you want to do. Like,
You're a time wizard.
yeah, but the thing is, our understanding of time is linear. You know, we can't really go back. And on some level, I guess I understand that like the impetus, the thing that drives human beings, drives living beings, is the goals. You know, the life's work in that way. So if it ever was complete, and you were still alive, you'd be purposeless on that level. So there's kind of a balance, you know. Knowing that you have limited time makes the things that you choose to do now in that limited time have more meaning. You know, if you could do anything and be anywhere and have any number of experiences, it means less. So I'm kind of
Torn.
weighing the two. You know, I wouldn't mind being dead. Like I don't think that a Yanti is really emotional. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having this discussion and kind of thinking about it, and then the other me is just kind of discussing things with Ratt and figuring out this theory and trying to help him with his roles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing.
So speaking of, you wanted to try to pray to Vrokana?
Yeah, Jimmy, you know. Magic? No. Religion? A little bit. Superstition? Incredibly. And I remember Vrokana did not have an organized religion. She had cults, and she had superstitions.
Yeah.
And one of those superstitions, you light a single candle on the first day of the year, you let it burn all the way down.
Mm-hmm. So,
Jimmy considers this.
all right.
He locates a candle, and he lights it.
Okay.
And he sits in front of it in contemplation, looking in the direction of the barrier.
Okay.
It takes a minute for a candle to burn down, so other people can do plenty of things while this happens.
Yeah. Would anyone else like to do anything while Jimmy's watching the candle burn?
We're gonna go back inside and look at the blueprints some more.
Okay.
Oh, we were asking you a thing while you were still gone. That's right, I'd forgotten.
Oh, what was the thing?
Oh, we were going to ask you if you could examine both the barrier and the cog to see if they have the same signature. You know, the divine magic of different gods having slightly different properties from one another.
Want to
Yeah,
see
I'll-
if they
I'll
were
see if
both
they-
of Goin.
See if they've kind of got the same.
Yeah, what are the vibes? Do the vibes match?
Do the vibes match?
Are they both going?
Like I was staring at the cog for a while earlier. Does the barrier kind of resonate with the similar level, like the same?
It's hard to say because you can't physically interact with the cog yet. Like it's still inside the device, you know. I'll let you have a chance to try to determine it though, if you'd like to, because that's like an active act that you want to do. Like you can kind of get a gist of the magical field of the barrier by studying it, and you could go back inside and actually try to attenuate your senses to pull that information from the cog.
Yeah, I think I do kind of want. I just want to go back inside and check like the blueprints and the machine some more. I think that's where my skill set lies. You keep praying, Jimmy.
Jimmy salutes. Just let me know if you find anything. If you can figure out a way to get it out without breaking the machine, that'd be great. We might have to put it back in later.
Yeah, the blueprint. Let's see if maybe the blueprints have some sort of loading mechanism noted or something.
Bryn will continue to attenuate to Karen's magic.
Okay. You continue that with the sitar?
Yeah.
Okay. And is this the sitar you found?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good question. All right, Rat, you're going in. What are you doing first?
I'm gonna go check out the blueprints some more. I want to check the blueprints to see if they've got like a, I don't know, like a something noted about like maybe the extraction procedure or the loading procedures or like how that final cog piece goes in and fits into the machine.
Okay, so you're
Like
studying
an access panel or like a door or something. Yeah.
Okay. And this is the one that you guys found of the machine, I think.
Yep.
Okay. You won't really glean much else out of that, other than the information you've got already. You know that it's, kind of what was put in there. I tell you, give me a. Well, let's do Arcana. Give me an Arcana check. You should be good at this. 19.
I'm okay at those.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
I roll a 2.
Okay. So, the cog you gather is an embodiment, like a focus, like an arcane focus. The individual used to manifest the cog becomes that focus. And while the information that is dispersed, the inspiration and innovation that it creates down on the planet is a fairly tangled and complex web driven by the divine power, the crux, the catalyst that is the cog and the individual used to manifest it, actually affects the flavor of that innovation.
Okay. So it kind of reflects what you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. It's like an amplifier. Alright, I'll go back and check out the machine some more then.
All right. Are you gonna try and determine the nature of the divine magic, like they were talking about, or you want to look for something else?
Yeah, I'll try to see see if it kind of resonates the same as the barrier. Seems like the barrier's connected in some way to it.
Okay. Give me an Arcana followed by a religion roll. Roll high. Okay. You going with those?
Consistent. Yeah, I think so. I don't have ability check or saving throw. I can add 5 to that twice. I could flash of genius both of those.
Yeah? Yeah?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So.
Oh, a 24 and a 22.
Solid. So. The energy. Excuse me. The energy at the machine is not the same as the energy on the field. Not even. They're both divine sources, but they're definitely two different divine sources.
Peculiar. I'll grab my Rocky Talkie and chirp over to, hey, Eagle One to the mouth.
You've got the mouth.
It's divine, all right, but it's a different divine.
You'll hear a doing from Bryn's sitar as she stops playing abruptly.
You don't say. You don't say. Well, this may bear some fruit anyways. Thanks for the info, Eagle One.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep checking stuff out in here.
You go for it. If it's the mother, we may have to grab that thing anyway, so feel free to start working on it.
Alright, I'll see if I can find a way to extract it.
Good luck. So Jimmy continues to watch his candle burn.
It's burning. You doing anything other than watching it burn, or?
Yep. Prayer for Jimmy was never a very formal event. You know, it's in the olden days, for the followers of Vori, they didn't really do churches. Especially not being culturally Vorstad as Jimmy was.
This is fair.
Usually they're quite brief. Just, you know, may I not die in the upcoming job.
Alright. So you're not
he sits there
you're not
and he
receiving
tries to.
anything yet. I will say that.
He waits patiently. She's an old lady. She gets around to you when she feels like. He attempts to extend his awareness down into what's below him, which is distinctly not ground, but is the very head of the mother.
You know what? I think Bryn will help Jimmy in this endeavor and start playing a song for Vrokana.
Okay. Alright. Is this just one like she's making up on the spot as a bard?
Yeah,
can?
pretty much.
Okay. Well, you're a bard. That's totally on par.
Yeah.
Okay. So while that's going on, Rat, I know you're about to attempt to see if there's a way to extract the cog. What's Istu and Cinder doing? Istu's and Cinder.
I like to think that one of us is trying to distinguish what's going on with the questions that I've been asking, and the other one is kind of discussing with Cinder the finer points of being alive, and whether or not that actually matters. We're kind of digging into these questions.
I imagine Cinder would probably fall on the side of alive in that argument. I'm guessing, granted, I don't know for sure, but Cinder is a little bit of a paladin.
Strong feelings about undead there.
Jeez, Ghinkgo.
Yeah, I mean we've just met this individual, Erebus. You know, it's something to kind of mull over, right?
He's not pushing you.
Yeah.
In fact, you get the sense that he's probably one of the most patient entities you've ever met.
Oh wow, I just saw that. Thank you.
You were planning this from the beginning, weren't you?
Is too.
No.
I wouldn't
been
even
funny
fault
if you
you
were.
for crediting that if you did. Yep, my plan all along.
Master Mist told us her plan would be Is-2s.
Is-2s. I like it. So,
Pronoun tips, just use magic.
Yeah, just like any evolving character, nothing that I planned in the beginning has ever come to fruition. So.
yeah, that's not the same problem.
I feel that. I definitely didn't plan to die. That just kind of happened.
But, so you and Cinder are having the big discussion, while the other Is-2 is having the big discussion. Ratt is seeking a way to extract the cog.
Yeah, they haven't really given me a reason not to steal this planet's innovation.
It's true.
Think of the amazing war machines I could build.
You know, Jimmy, it would be a big undertaking, but if I can speak to spirits of the dead, why can't I speak with spirits of dead gods? Would you like to attempt a seance?
Oh, that could kill us so easily. That could kill us so easily. It's probably a good idea, though.
I'm not gonna lie, I just salivated a little when you said that.
Alright, yeah, 1 second. Let me warn the crew. So I pull up the Rocky Talkie. Eagle 1.
Go for Eagle 1.
We're gonna try something stupid.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Question
Define.
though, before you do that, like, why are we on speaking stones right now?
Because he's
wide.
outside.
Yeah,
like,
we're
having
way
a
over
ritual.
by the barrier, and you guys are in the atrium.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna try something stupid. Ghost just realized she is a certified ghost whisperer, and dead gods are technically dead and can be spoken to.
Interesting.
So
Good
we're
luck.
gonna take a shot at that. Good luck with the cog. If you see an explosion over this way, I advise you to look from a distance.
I like explosions.
From a distance.
Okay.
All right. Mouth out.
Have fun.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Do we want to try the seance first or Rat's extraction first?
Let's let Rat go first, so we can allow the trepidation to build over here.
All right. Rat,
Uh-huh.
are you making any preparation? Do you just want to try to crack it open, or what do you want to do?
Well, I studied the blueprints a bit. Like, there's this front panel here. The blueprints kind of detailed how it attached, right? Kinda.
I tell you what, give me a... You should be good at this. We're going to use
Is there like a...
Since we don't have a skill roll just for this, let's use your Tinker Tools ability.
Oh.
We're going to say this is going to represent your... This is going to represent your engineering skill, basically.
Oh, yeah, he's got that in the bag.
I got a button for that.
Yeah. So I will say this. Looking closer at how this was done, how it functions, and how everything within this device leans on everything else, if you remove the cog without replacing it with something of equal or greater value as far as intellect, it will cause a very devastating reaction.
Interesting. So the machine needs to keep running, but we need that piece?
Conundrum.
Conundrum indeed. Let me think on that one.
All right. So we'll go over the seance.
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to try to summon up the spirit of a dead primordial goddess.
Or at least see if we can attempt to contact her.
I can't insight check the things we just found out, can I?
And the
stuff
secret
Ratt
messages?
discovered?
Mm-hmm. Before they set that off, because...
Oh, the stuff
it
Ratt
may be
discovered?
related. The things I discovered about what questions I was asking about the sphere. Because I think this is a little related.
You can, yeah. All right, what are you insight checking specifically? Like who?
What the intention of it was, like the individual who casted it, like why did they cast it? Like, is it meant to
the purpose behind it.
Yeah, keep things in, keep something out.
I don't know about insight check, because insight's more of a human, organic to organic type thing. You're trying to figure motives based on...
Arcana, maybe? Cause
yeah, Arcana would probably be the closest.
Yeah, all magic has intent behind it, so I would assume they would be able to read the intent behind the barrier.
It's pretty
the reason
specific.
I was saying, like, investigating is because, first, my skill's higher than that, and then I was thinking about, the discussions we've had along the lines of intention-based things.
No, I get what you're saying. That's actually smart. Let's still go with Arcana, just because of the basis of what it is. Ooh.
Yeah, nah.
Want to use a luck point or anything?
I do, but I get the inkling that it's not gonna help.
You never know.
Yeah, statistically, it'll be much better.
It's your call.
I mean, statistics isn't in England, but okay, we'll see.
Hey.
Much better. It was designed to keep you in.
So we can walk into this area, but we can't walk out, similar to the auditorium.
Correct.
Strange. Yeah, that's all I wanted. Just wanted to figure out, like...
No, you're good. Good. Putting those pieces together little by little. So we're going to do a seance to summon up the spirit of a dead primordial goddess. It's terrifying when I put it that way, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy, it's times like these that I wish I had the power of my mother already.
I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and we're going to come back to that later. But important background information. She's probably not sane, and probably never was. The way it went down, she did kind of tear herself to pieces shortly after creation.
Yeah, she didn't like acknowledging existence.
Yeah, so if she happens to exist again, she's probably not happy about it. You could probably hide behind me on the basis that I'm made out of her some, however many years back.
At least to some degree.
Yeah, like I recycled and recycled and recycled or whatever. I am still a child of Cairn. I am supposedly her flesh.
Do you think it would be wise to do this at all? Because first and foremost, my primary goal is protecting you, and it always has been.
I think I'm tired of playing along. Let's see what the old lady has to say.
All right, Jimmy.
We could go take the cog out of the box, and I'm sure Rat's halfway to doing it right now. But that's what they want. I'm tired of what they want. I want out of here on my terms.
All right, well, take my hands and we'll form the circle and get started.
All right.
So we're gonna
You might want to time it for right when the candle burns down. It's supposed to symbolize the moment of her destruction.
Okay. That's smart. We can do that. So, let's do, I think we've said performance roll in the past for your seance based on the type of bard you are.
I think so.
It's been a minute since the last one.
Performance sounds fair. I mean, like I said, that's the type of bard you are, so this would be your skill set, basically. So,
True.
Yeah, let's go with
Also, her general background feature gives me advantage on any Arcana religion check I make to remember research information about spirits in the afterlife, and
if you'd rather use Arcana or religion, you're welcome to. I don't mind.
I think I have a higher performance modifier. Yes, I do.
I kind of figured you probably would.
No,
that's
hard stuff.
I don't know if my spirit medium background feature gives me advantage on that. Proficiency bonus to any ability check you make using your divining tool, which in her case would be her automatic writing planchette. So, well, she already is proficient in performance.
Yeah.
So you probably
Doubly so. Jack of all trades. We want to triple that.
Go for it. Let's see what you got.
Okay, here we go.
22.
I guess you can add another 6 to that.
28. Solid. Okay. So you sit down as the candle burns to the ground and begins to snuff out and sputter when as the wax bubbles at the bottom. And you begin kind of scribbling on your planchette, kind of making the circles and getting ready, and you can feel like the trance overtaking you. If you had parts of your eyes they'd start rolling in the back of your head, and the kind of solid white eyes make that difficult to see.
Yeah.
But
Probably see some of her veins. I mean, she's still a living creature.
yeah, you looking at her brains. The ghost begins to moan, almost as if she's in pain, and her hand becomes more and more erratic, scribbling and grinding into the planchette. Dust kind of kicking up as this is happening, and she begins to shake and tremble in front of you, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
What are you watching? Are you doing anything in particular? You watching the planchette or?
I would say yes. I have seen her do this before. It is kind of crazy every time. I know what, like, the intended outcome is supposed to be.
Okay. So, it gets more and more intense, more and more almost violent, into where she's, like, rocking around and almost, like, having small convulsions and twitching real hard and grinding hard into the planchette. And then suddenly there's this burst of energy, and it kind of knocks you back on your hands where you're sitting, and you see her just kind of go flat. And all of the, what is it, charcoal that you use for your planchette?
Anything.
I would assume probably charcoal, based on, the time and everything.
Yeah, sure.
Crayons?
Ooh,
Crayola.
that would be a major technological innovation in Sigil.
So the dust particles from the planchette actually rise up into a three-dimensional form. The scribbles actually come up and take the form of a head and a face staring at you, Jimmy. And it smiles. And you can just feel this, like, wicked malice make your soul run cold.
Holy shit.
And it
All right.
says to you, in a feminine voice, "You shouldn't try to wake Mother."
It doesn't immediately poof, right?
No.
So, do I recognize the face?
No.
Do I recognize who the face isn't, assuming that I am familiar with the depictions of the goddesses of Cairn?
Give me a religion roll. Let's see.
You got it.
Hard to tell because it is a bunch of scribbles. But
Well, it's like reconstituted into a three-dimensional object. And Jimmy's good with faces anyways.
it's true. He is the mouth.
I'm a people person.
Always has been.
Ooh. It's low. I don't think I have. 1 second.
Go for
Let me
it.
check something. Nah, I don't have anything that would let me do that again, unfortunately. And the only potentially applicable thing is I could tell if this was eldritch or aberrant rather than divine. Is it eldritch or aberrant rather than divine?
No.
No, it's probably divine as hell.
All right. So yeah, you can't pick out any distinguishing features that stand out based on your knowledge. Which
Yes.
you weren't a heavily religious guy. Most of your
Nah, not super. Not really. But
So,
like, I'm
yeah.
struggling in my memory to say, alright, I know what Volry was supposed to look like, and it wasn't that.
You don't recognize the face, no.
I say, I'm in somewhat dire straits. I am a child of Cairn after all. Figured I might ask what's going on.
You think you have reached out to me.
I suspected you were already well in contact in your own way.
You are such a simple little thing.
Time for something stupid.
I love stupid.
I'm gonna try and be charming.
Can I seduce the dead god?
That's a little beyond even my talents.
That could backfire.
That could go so poorly.
She's a power top. No. Alright, go
But
I
no.
believe we call that a dummy mommy.
Dummy mommy. The
Joke's on
worst
you
one.
into that shit.
So I'm gonna go with persuasion rather than intimidation or deception.
Okay.
Given, the other two probably aren't gonna work.
Okay.
And I'm gonna straight face it, I'm gonna say, I'll take that as a compliment. I do try to be straightforward in my dealings.
No, you don't, Jimmy.
Nah, I don't. I try and lie, cheat, and steal whenever I can. You caught me.
Of course.
I do it for the greater good. Or for my friends, sometimes.
Jimmy. I'm going to hurt you. In ways that you cannot imagine.
I have a powerful imagination. But maybe it'd be better to just let you sleep.
As I said, you mustn't try to wake Mother. Finish collecting the keys. Bring them to me at Numenera. Or... And with that, the face kind of moves back and begins to hover over the ghost, like actually encapsulating her face.
Hmm.
And it almost looks like the ghost looks at you and is talking through the scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll take this. I know how to hurt you, Jimmy.
Alright, now I'm gonna try intimidation.
Do it.
I know a thing or two about hurting myself. I'll see you soon. And I'm gonna take the ghost's hand off the planchette.
Okay. You could swear the image smiles at you wickedly before it falls to dust all over the ghost's face.
I take out my handkerchief as she starts to come around, and I'm just rubbing it off. I go, you got some schmutz on you. That's it.
Yeah, you wake up with a pounding headache, Brim. And your face is just, your face and your chest and your shoulders is just covered with like charcoal dust.
Yeah, no, that can't taste good.
What do I remember from the seance?
You remember the sensation of being spiritually pulled into a million pieces slowly, agonizingly.
All I got out of that was a sensation of being pulled into a million pieces slowly. Did you get anything, Jimmy?
Oh, I had a whole conversation.
Oh, good. I suppose it worked then.
Kinda. Kinda. We made contact.
What did she say?
She implied that she was very upset. Fortunately, she also implied she was not the mother. So I think we got intercepted.
Anything else?
Yeah, it appears to have been whoever's been fucking with us, because she wanted us to collect all these damn keys, bring them to Numenera, hand them over. Also, important question, Church.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place in Cairn that Jimmy would be familiar with called Numenera, or are we talking about, like, the other one?
That is not something that rings a bell for you at all.
That's fair. I guess maybe Jimmy wouldn't actually know about the other one either.
Yeah. Nothing in Cairn has that name, to your knowledge.
What the?
Where the hell's Numenera?
That's what I was about to ask you, Jimmy. I would assume it's a place on Cairn.
Nah, not that I remember, and I got around. I mean, unless they built it since, it has been 200 years. Ah, I guess if Rat's pulled the cog out, maybe he can tell us he'll have all the knowledge of the universe.
Time dilation's a burk, eh?
Yeah. Whole place changes right out from under you. But, yep, starts to stand up. He offers you his hand.
Chill, take it and stand.
You're a little wobbly at first, but you get your feet under you.
But we've got knowledge. We've got knowledge. And we managed to piss somebody off. Which is exactly what I wanted.
You really are something, aren't you, Jimmy?
All the fear burned off at some point in the past.
Until Ratt blows something up again.
I have some questions.
Yeah, what you got?
This cog, is it near us or it's near us, right?
Here, I'll do this. I don't know if you were here for the other map.
Yes, the shiny.
You see the big glowing light in the middle? That's it. It's inside there.
I suppose we could stay on this map. I imagine Bryn and Jimmy will have walked inside.
Yeah, we would come back after that.
That's fine.
I'll go back over and consider it. Rat and I are just kind of talking back and forth. And the other issue is talking with Cinder and, weighing the options.
I think I understand now.
Oh, Jimmy wants to do something stupid. Can I do something stupid?
You know, I never mind when you do stupid stuff.
What do you understand, Rat?
Yeah, what's Rat now?
What do you understand?
How this works.
Oh shit. Knowledge of the universe? Yeah?
No, not yet. My knowledge becomes the universe.
Is that how that works?
At least this local plane's not. You need the key.
I have been informed that I need the key, but only by people I don't really like. So, you're not obligated to that.
That's fine. I go off to the side. Start kind of like set down my accelerator and the hand cannon and take off the boots, my vest, and like lay them all out on the bench. And then I'll take the all-purpose tool and I'll pry open I'll go back over to the middle, the dealy-doo,
Okay.
the coggy bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna pry open this access panel.
Alright. You're immediately hit with a rush of energy and like air blowing out. It's warm and strange. But you can see the cog, you're having to squint. Click, click, click.
We're just gonna stand here and be ready to watch and make sure he's okay.
What are you doing now, Rat?
You got a plan there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach in and grab it.
Oh, he's just like that, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach in and grab it. That's the safest option. Rip it out real quick with one hand.
Okay. So you...
And then with the other, just kind of get pulled in to replace it.
So you're not resisting the pull?
Nope, I become this universe's knowledge and innovation. Guns for everybody.
Alright.
The gods made men and women. Rat makes them equal.
So Rat vanishes in a burst of light into the machine.
Wait, no.
Poof. And the cog spits out
I
onto the
grab it.
floor. Clang, clang, clang.
God damn it.
Inside, you see a brand new cog has replaced the old one and immediately begins click, click, click.
Why'd
Walk
you do
back
that?
down away from the thing because that's terrifying. And I look at this new cog. Does it just seem normal now?
You can't really see any difference, no.
None?
Mm-mm.
No difference between the way it was when it was in there operating and now, or?
It feels powerful in your hands still. The one you're holding, I mean, it's a cog about the size of your head, so I mean it's got some weight to it. But you can feel power radiating off of it, like divine power.
Why'd you do that?
God damn it, Rat.
I'm barely willing to die for my plane. Why would you die for my plane?
I don't know what we're supposed to do with this now, but
Hold it close, I guess.
so the cog is divine magic, and this dome. We've done some investigation to learn about the things that you've told me.
Hmm.
Is there some way to figure out that the two fit together?
Well, the cog has been referred to as a key.
If it's like the last one, you can probably just walk straight through now.
And we're supposed to get all these keys, huh?
It's not exactly looking like we'll survive the process.
Istu looks to the other Istu and to Cinder, and is like, it walks over with the cog, slowly, kind of trying to figure out what just happened. While these two are talking to Erebus and Phaedra.
Yeah, and of course that conversation stops with the bright flash of light. And you could almost swear you see Phaedra's lips curl into a slight smile as that happens. And Erebus nods. He says, "Oh, good. That didn't take nearly as long as I expected."
Hey, before you
There are
vanish
many-
on me,
It would seem there are many ways to live forever.
I suppose.
before you vanish on me, here, hold up 1 second. And time to do the other stupid thing I was gonna do. I pull out some paper and my own charcoal. I'd like to make a sketch. All of Jimmy's sketches turn into caricatures, really, but I'd like to make a sketch of the face I saw out there. Legalize nuclear bombs. Ratthew, Rattling on the mic. Sorry, I had to give him the drop there. He deserved it. But
I'll just go around.
yeah. So I would like to make a quick sketch.
Okay, what are you sketching?
The face that I saw. I didn't recognize it.
Okay.
I will now, though.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I mean, it's as good a likeness as you can get. That's a pretty good roll, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna show Erebus.
Oh. Okay.
And Istu will tell Cinder what just happened and show him the cog. You know, like, look at this divine magic thing, Paladin.
Observe.
So you show the image to Erebus?
I say, have you seen this woman, the architect of all my suffering?
He looks at the picture, and then once again that slow, kind of agonizing drift back over to you. And he smiles, which it makes your blood chill. And he just kind of nods.
Good. Good. I'm glad you know her. Make sure you come to the funeral.
I'm sure I'll see you there.
Hearing this news of what happened to Ratt, this Istu heads back up towards the platform here. sort of investigate this thing again here.
It's humming right along.
It's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it fine?
Looks okay, as far as you can tell.
Is there any distinguishing, like, can you tell it's Ratt?
No, not really. The cog's a little more red than it was.
They'll sort of stand there for a minute, like, trying to grasp what just happened.
Understandable.
And then kind of go back this way and look at the vest on the ground.
It's all right where he laid it.
We're taking a moment here, trying to figure out if there were any other option that we could have done. And we'll sort of pick that stuff up and pick the vest up and move away.
Where are you going? Just away.
As we see Brent approaching, we move away.
Oh, okay. Are you, I will say, as that's happening up there, you're not sure how, but Erebus and Phaedra are gone.
That sounds like them.
You know something that worries me, Jimmy.
What's that? Jimmy's over here. Looks like he's looking for something on the workbenches.
I can't say how many citadels there are, but there's 7 gods. There were 7 of us.
Once upon a time. Didn't really want to do this twice in a day. Jimmy has found a chisel and a plaque, what looks like metal. And he seems to be making an inscription.
Okay. If this is what I think it is, I won't make you make any rolls or anything. That's perfectly fine. If it's what I think it is. You put a
It probably is.
Memorial plaque type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What do you want it to say?
Lieutenant Ratthew Rattling. The biggest guns.
I like it.
Come over here and mount it on the front of the damn machine.
All right. Oh, there's our man. All right. So you mount it on the front of the machine. Suppose I can get rid of that now too. Barrage Commander Lieutenant Ratthew Rattling 666.
Yes, if I remember his full rank and battalion, I will apply that.
Given the circumstances, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But aside from that, are you guys going to stick around going Citadel any further?
Nah, I'm too sad.
Okay. Yeah, same.
Okay. So, in that case, we can... What we'll do is we'll say you guys take your time to grieve. I'll even give you a long rest in here if you want. Just where you guys take a moment, collect, grieve, kind of say your piece and your memorial bits.
Yeah, sure.
And when we pick up, unless you guys have any other things you want to do here aside from that, we'll say you're leaving the city, which you'll be able to now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is all well and good. So I will say, and this is of course for those of you at home as well, next Cairn episode will begin the convergence of the two groups. Just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
We will begin the convergence of the two groups. And Ghinkgo, I will get with you about what this means for Ratt. And I'll let you have some input on the outcome of it. Ratt's going to have some influence on the technological innovations of Cairn.
That's terrifying.
Legalized nuclear bombs.
But I think we're going to use that we're going to credit kind of Ratt's ingenuity with the advent of things like the up-and-coming railway lines and whatnot. We're going to attribute a lot of that to Ratt's ingenuity playing into the system. I think that'll be a nice, fun way to immortalize the man. They'll just have guns on him now.
They should have had guns on him anyways. Have you been to Cairn?
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Probably not
Now
wrong.
now they're bigger.
Bigger,
Mm.
better, stronger, faster.
They don't use that weak ass chemistry anymore.
But yeah, we will go ahead and wrap it up there.
Mm.
I want to thank you guys for playing. I know it kind of had a dark end, but little bits of the mystery are being revealed as we go. Ratt, I salute you. You're amongst the ranks of the great ones now.
Mm. Literally saluting at this moment.
I mean, it's literally the only way to kill this character. So,
He gave up willingly.
I've got like 20th level artificer feats means like, okay, when you die, you just dismiss one of your infusions, and then you don't die.
Yeah.
And I can just spam infusions. Like, it doesn't take that long to put up a new one. So I've got 6 of those. That's like killing me before 20 is the only way to get rid of an artificer.
Yeah. What's your question, Master Miss?
I had established a telepathic bond with Ratt before this with the spell that I had casted previously. That's not still intact, is it? It just cuts off, right?
Yeah, that would have severed. His consciousness is something far different than your mind would be able to reconcile, I think.
So this loss, the visual of this loss is echoed by the telepathic loss of it too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it was pretty epic, I have to say. He just took care of business. I think Ratt's probably secretly excited about influencing an entire planet.
It's a kind of ascension, but, not for everybody.
Kind of small potatoes, but hey, at least it's a better afterlife than the Blood War.
This is unified magic theory.
This is the theory of unified magic, so I figured it out. I was the missing piece.
He became it.
Damn.
Last time I died, like I saw my future, it was in the Blood War. I did not want to do that again. This is a way better alternative.
Way better.
I'm safe here in the machine. I get to make guns all day. I get to make other people make guns all day.
I will say, if I didn't have to worry about copyright laws, I would definitely go out with "Welcome to the Machine" by Pink Floyd. So if you want, go ahead home and listen to that, and thank you for that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for tonight. We will be back, what is today, Saturday? We'll be back Wednesday with Storm King's Thunder, Thursday with Zombicide, Friday with Star Wars, and then Saturday back to Cairn. So join our Discord, tune in, don't miss it. We got a lot more fun planned, more things coming always, and we hope to see you soon.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Adios.
Until next time.